Hello, my name is Tofpik. I'm Head of Technical Analysis and Senior Markets Analyst at ADM Investor Services International Limited, and here is your daily technical analysis of foreign exchange markets.
Euro-dollar. A dragonfly doji pattern yesterday, an inherently bullish pattern after the previous session's bullish opening white Mariposa and second bullish white soldier, though it was not an overwhelmingly good-looking pattern. And prices pierced down through the April 2017 low at 105.68, though obviously did not stay down there, retreating back upwards. However, the top side was capped by the nearby congestion at 106.13. Roughly the April this year's lows, and the middle time currently at 106.02 of the acute late September to early November bearish Andrews pitchfork. Now further overhead we have the 2020 low at 106.36, then congestion from roughly 106.65 up to the April 2020 low at 107.25. This is from the work done back in June this year. Overall, the action since late September to date has been a small descending scallop pattern, with the primary target already achieved and a secondary harder to reach target X1 that's down in the 103.25 zone. And so far today, a test up over the middle time and just short of the congestion at 106.13 before pulling back lower and piercing just under the April 2017 low. Cable, aka sterling against the US dollar. An indecisive spinning top, but one that has a long tail and is verging on being a possible hanging man pattern, as well as a second bullish white soldier. Prices closed for a second session up over the September 2020 low at 126.72, despite the long tail below. Overhead, we next have the pair of 50% Fibonacci lines, one from the June 2016 to September 2024 move at 126.99, and the other from the October 23 to September 24 move at 127.34. Further down we have the lesser Fibonacci line at 125.69, which is not exactly riveting support. Now so far today, a spike higher, just over the first 50% Fibonacci line at 126.99, then a pullback below yesterday's close, and just on or under the September 2020 low. Euro sterling. A complicated mixture here for yesterday's action. On the one hand, it was a bearish Harami and outside day pattern, but it could also be seen as a possible indecisive spinning top as well. All this coming after the previous session's third bullish white soldier. On the day, the top side was capped by the July 2024 low at 83.81 and further congestion at 83.86. I suppose you could consider these two as a single overhead band of resistance. It's also capped, but only on a closing basis for the second consecutive time by the declining short medium moving average, currently at 83.61. Meanwhile, on the downside, prices pierced but did not manage to stay below the August 2022 low at 83.38. This August 22 low is the gateway to a congestion zone below that stretches down to the October this year low at 82.93. Now, a question still hangs over this market as to whether we have or have not a late September to date base cat's ears pattern, typically seen as a bearish pattern. Now, so far today, a seeming follow-on lower move below the August 2022 low, but now getting stuck in the quagmire of the 83.38 to 82.93 congestion zone below. US dollar against the Japanese yen. Another, which is the second consecutive indecisive pattern today, this time an indecisive doji cross, but it is verging on being a possible dragonfly doji pattern, an inherently bullish pattern. This after the previous session's reactionary looking indecisive spinning top, also looking like a bullish Harami. The base of yesterday's action was on the lesser Fibonacci line at 153.40, but the top side, well, was limited. Overall, prices stayed in between the big overhead June 1990 high at 155.78 and that lesser Fibonacci line below at 153.40. The market also remains within the very recent late October based bull channel that has earlier morphed from an ascending wedge pattern. That's currently 153.10 to 157.36. Further down we have the base of the recent attempt higher, which is the bright red middle time, currently at 152.56 of the very flat late December 2023 to early August 24 bullish shift pitchfork, as well as a lesser Fibonacci line at 152.52 and the lower bull channel line, plus the combined October 22 high at 151.94 and the November 23 high at 151.93. With just below these are now slowly rising gold long moving average, currently 151.91. So it's quite a lot down there altogether. Topside, beyond the upper trend line, we are seemingly in a pretty free area overhead, barring some recent highs at 157.76 and 157.86. And that's until the old May 1990 high at 159.61. Now, so far today, a significant attempt high all the way up to the June 1990 high, where we have seemingly stalled for now. US dollar against the CNH, the offshore Chinese yuan. A reactionary bullish Harami and bullish opening white Mariboso after the previous session's second bearish black crow. Interestingly, elsewhere nearby, we could have seen this as a possible shooting star pattern, but not where we are now. Two things to note. The first was the recent avoidance of target X topside at 727.23. This was the primary target for the late August to late October reverse head and shoulders pattern. The second was a little more obvious and was the pullback down after only one close over last week, the dark blue extension to the upper trend line for the January to early April ascending triangle pattern, currently at 724.95. We were capped by the same dark blue extension yesterday. Now looking further below, we have the gold flatlining long moving average, currently at 719.91 and the May 2020 high at 719.64. So far today, a further attempt higher towards the overhead dark blue upper trendline extension, just piercing it, but not as yet stabilizing over it. Further up, we have some small July-based congestion between approximately 726 to 729 a quarter, within which sits target X. US dollar against the Mexican peso. A fourth interesting bearish black crow and a continuing suitable follow-on low to the recent unusual key reversal down. Prices punched down and closed below some significant levels. These are the bright red lower time, currently at 20.2247, of the very important breached but seemingly repaired, only to be breached once again, big picture April to July bullish shift pitchfork. Then the October 22 high at 20.1720. And prices finally halted at the August 2024 high at 20.0445. Additionally, we are now closer to the dark blue lower time, currently at 1998.11, of the recent mid-August to mid-September bullish shift pitchfork, as well as the neckline extension, currently at 20.0046 of the late July to early October head and shoulders continuation pattern. Now, so far today, an avoidance of testing lower as prices have moved back up just over the October 22 high, possibly setting up as a bullish thrusting or even piercing line pattern, or even more as a bullish engulfing pattern. And they're setting up that right now.
Thank you for listening. This short version broadcast gives essential market patterns and consequences. Please be aware of the risk disclaimer posted both at the front and the back of this broadcast. Copyright is Eddie Tofpik and ADM Investor Services International Limited. And here comes the final important bit.